Hi, this is Leetcode question, Substring XOR queries, and this is the third question from weekly contest number 332. So in this question you are given a binary string and queries. So every query, for example 05, represents first, and this represents second. We need to find in the binary string the first substring whose decimal value XOR first equal second. So for this query 05, the output is 02, and that's because the substring from 0 to 2 is 101, and this is in decimal equal 5. So 5, this value XOR first, which is 0, equal second, which is 5. So the answer is 02, which is the substring from the index 0 up to 2. For this query 1, 2, the answer is 2, 3, and that's because the substring 2, 3 is 1, 1, and this equal 3. And the 3 XOR first, which is 1, equal second. Now how can we solve this problem? First of all, instead of doing first XOR val equal second, this is equivalent to first XOR second equal val. For example, if you have query 3, 5, 3 XOR 5 equal 6, since 3 is 1, 1 and 5 is 1, 0, 1, and the result for this is 6. And so first XOR second equal value, so we need to search in string for the first substring whose value equal 6, and notice that is equivalent to the first 3 XOR value 6 should be equal to 5. So 3 and 0, 3 XOR 6 is 1, 0, 1, and indeed it's 5. So in the substring, instead of searching for first XOR value equal second, we need to find the first substring whose first XOR second equal or the first value in the string that equal first XOR second. And so we need to have this dictionary that maps every query first XOR second to all the indexes of the queries that has this value. So the dictionary Q I map, in its key is first XOR second, so we will iterate over all the queries indexes. So for the first query 05, 0 XOR 5 equal 5, so the key is 5, and we push to the indexes, the index of the query, which is 0. Now for the second query 1 XOR 2 equal 3, so 3, all the queries that has this value is the query at index 1. We are done for iterating over the queries. Now what we need to do is to iterate over all the indexes of the string, and for every index we will go up to 30 elements, and that's because the binary representation of any integer in this range 10 to the power 9 needs 30 bits. And while looping over all these numbers, we will calculate the decimal value and see if any query has this decimal value, and we set it to our answer. So this is the vector that will contain the answer, and all the values are initially -1, which means does not exist. And whenever we find a solution, we assign it to a proper index of the query. So we start with index 0. This is index 0. It has the value 1. Then we need to check if any query has the value 1, and the answer is no. This is what we are doing here. Now if the value, this value equals 0, we need to continue, and that's because only when the query, this query value equals 0, so if we have a query 0 0 or 5 XOR 5 equals 0, so the shortest, the question substring is this 0 itself, so that we need to check for this number. Otherwise, no need to check values that start with 0. So for example, 0 1 1, it's better to skip this 0, and because this value equal to 3, and also this 1 1 equal to 3, so 1 1 is shorter. So we check only for this bit if equal to 0 only when the query XOR value equal to 0, otherwise we continue. Now we checked for this bit, we said we need to iterate over 30 bits, so we go to the second one, so substring become 1 0, and this is what we are doing here. 1 0 equal to 2, so the value of number equal 2. Now we need to check in this dictionary if any query has the value 2, and the answer is no. Then we move to this, we have 1 0 1, and the value number equal 5, and we need to check if for all queries that has the value 5, and we found this query 0, so our answer initially for query 0 0 is -1 -1, for the second query -1 -1. Now we find this 5 in the dictionary, so for index 0, for the first query, we need to set the value which equal I, which is 0, and j in this case is 2, so the value from 0 to 2, which is 1 0 1, is the answer for the first query, and we will fill the answer for all the queries. So here if we have 3 4, for all the queries we will set the answer to 0 2. Then we remove this from the dictionary because we already answer all the queries here. Then we continue iterating, so after 1 0 1 we have 1 0 1 1. Now 1011 equal to 11. Now we need to check if any key equal 11. The answer is no, and so on. And after we done from the first element, we go to the second element, which is 0. And first of all, we check if any queries has the value 0. If not, we skip directly. We continue and we move to the next element, so I become 1, and again from 1 we need to iterate over all the elements up to 30 bits. So the time complexity for this for loop is 30 multiplied by n, and we have for this dictionary it's also big O of n, so the time complexity is 30 multiplied by n.